Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and I hope you had a wonderful time of the festive time, whatever you chose to do, whatever was in your sphere of your day-to-day. I wonder if you chose to take time to recharge and energise. You might not have been in the best possible place. Maybe you're feeling poorly, or maybe you were with family and friends and you had a wonderful time sharing and connecting. Maybe you felt isolated or lonely, but I hope that you found time and space to recharge and energise, and you made connections in the best way you could. I hope that listening to podcasts just like this helps you to reconnect, recharge and energise too. You're listening to Catherine Gallacher and this is CMGTalk. Now this is my channel here where I'm going to talk today about friendships. And on my supporters channel, I'm going to level up and I'm going to put a podcast that goes in deeper about friendships. But right now, I'm going to talk about the stages of friendships. You may already be aware that there are recognised 5 stages, 5 levels of friendships. So the first stage that often is recognised is called the passing stage, the passerby friendship stage. These are people that often you recognise as somebody that are strangers to you. You might have an area, a group, a place in your life that are like with each other. And what I mean by that is it might be you work in the same workplace. It might be that you have a similar and the same hobby. It might be that you might have similar friends, but you don't actually socialise together. It might be that you're in the same neighbourhood. But these are people that you would pass by. You might go to the shopping centre and there happen to be somebody that you maybe routinely have recognised. And you might say, hello, good morning. You might nod. They might wave, you might wave back. But these are strangers to you. They're not people that are in your circle. You give a very congenial greeting. The next level up, that would be those people that again you have somewhere that you would see them in. Your workplace, your allotment, your shopping centre. It might be you do something that they do and you meet up. But the difference with this level 4, is where you are meeting these people and you might stop and you might exchange some positive comments. But you don't go deep with someone that is a casual, familiar person you recognise. They're often termed casual acquaintances, people you're acquainted with casually. You're not going to go into anything deep. You might greet them and say, I hope you had a good weekend. The response would be, yes, and I hope you did too. You might give an exchange of, isn't it a good day for going for a walk? And the response would be, indeed it is, yes. Or I had a really nice walk this morning myself. You're not going to go into any sharing of any real information here. It's going to be general information. But with someone like this, you might say something that sparks interest. Yes, I had a walk and I took my dog for a walk. Oh, you have a dog? Yes, I have a dog. We should talk about that sometime. But you're building slowly and gradually, but they're still a casual acquaintance. Friendships and levels of friendship should always be built up gradually. People often go from someone who's a passing by person to someone who suddenly becomes a bestie, their best friend, very quickly. But they haven't really leveled up trust, leveled up understanding, leveled up information and knowledge about each other. When you're a casual acquaintance of each other, you're just sharing positive information. You're not necessarily going into anything deep at this moment in time. At this moment in time, you're basically just acknowledging each other politely. Level 3, that's where someone you would see as a friend. So you're not just friendly with them as an acquaintance. Your friendship has begun. And you're building up a type of relationship. And when you have someone that you see as a friend, they're becoming closer to your inner circle. But they might not necessarily get further, right? They may not get further. So they're not a passing by acquaintance, right? They're not a casual acquaintance. They're somebody that you would see as you're friendly with. And you might share some information, but you're not really sure about trust. Communication might not be frequent. You might share generalised information, but you might also open up about things. I hope you had a good weekend. Well, it was okay. It wasn't the best weekend, but I'm fine now, but thanks for asking. You wouldn't necessarily open up too much, but this might be somebody that you might arrange to meet up with after exercise. Let's stay on and let's have a coffee, right? Let's go and I would really like to go to this movie. Well, I would too. But the agreement and the recognition would be that you're friends. We're friendly. It's a friendship. We're friends. It might be that you are at work and you connect in that friendship basis. So you might be meeting up and having lunch together. You might not know that much about each other, but there is a friendship there because you feel that there's a connection there. The next stage is where we really look at whether someone is a really trusted friend, our best friend. Now, many of us have many people we're friendly with, many people we have friendships with. They never really get to a best friend level. Sometimes we have people that we have friendships and we're friendly with within all sorts of environments. Work, when we've retired, we might go to different hobbies, different associations. It might be within a faith-based situation. It might be we go on holiday to the same place and we meet people. It might be that we travel and we've met someone and we see this person as a friend and we still keep contact with them. But they're not like our best friend. We're not trusted best friends. And many of us will have people that we maybe have infrequent contact with. But we still see them as a friend. Might talk to them now and again within a year. Sometimes we haven't heard from them for many years, but we would still recognise them as someone we're friends with. What do you think if you think about these types of friendships and stages of friendships? Can you relate to people in your life that fit in to these stages? Now, for someone to be a best friend, they're really people that step up in our life. We step up for them. They step up for us. They're a ride and die person. They're the person that if we call them at 3 o'clock, they go, what do you need? Not what are you calling for? What do you want? They're the person that we talk to, we open up with when they're our best friend. Now, people that are friends, that become a best friend, they've really got into that inner circle. We trust them. We confide with them. We communicate. We often have similar things, similar values, or we might do similar things. We feel that they're the person that would be there for us when we need them to be. And sometimes that best friend might become an intimate friend. We might develop relationship with that person that's an intimate relationship because we've taken time to build up that strong connection. And often the best partner relationships are built on strong friendships, first of all, aren't they? And that's the last stage, stage 5, where it's a sexual, intimate, deep, intimate, best friend connected relationship. Of course, sometimes those relationships don't work out. And often people find it exceptionally hard to then be best friends still, or even friends and friendly, let alone be casual acquaintances or passing by acquaintances. Often, for that ever to happen, for them to ever remain and be a friend and be friendly with each other, there has to be a period of mourning and grief and separation, so they can learn to live without each other being in their lives. Just as when we have a best friend and then suddenly we feel as if the relationship changes for whatever reason. Maybe they're not there for us when we need them. Maybe they break our trust. Maybe they don't invest in their friendship. Maybe they're not investing in the friendship with us. Maybe they've found a partner and, their partner's the be-all and end-all and that's their best friend now and they don't have room for another friend. Suddenly, you're sidelined. I know a lot of people listen to this and recognise this. They might say, that's me. Right? The difficulty with that is that the value of friendships and having a best friend and people you're friendly with is that they know you for you. They know you not as a partner, not as a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, or a mother, a sister, or daughter, a son, an uncle, an auntie. They know you, for who you are. That's one of the benefits of nurturing and investing in your friendships. Your friends know you for you. And they're there for you. And they often don't have the expectations that family will have of us or our partner will have of us. And hopefully they won't judge. Hopefully they'll be there for us when we need them, listening, actively listening, supporting us. and also telling us the truth, challenging us sometimes if we need it. Because that's what friendship's about, being able to be honest and real with each other, particularly if you're best friends. And often when people talk to me, they'll talk about grieving the loss of an ending of a friendship, or feeling that they're not being invested in as a friend, that have been let down, or having lost their friend through death and what that's felt like. But when you have a bestie, when you have best friends, when you have a friendship group, a trusted group of friends, 1, 2, it doesn't know how many you have. Sometimes people say, I've only got one friend, one best friend. That's all it takes. And if you're that person, and it might be a sibling, it might be an aunt, it might be an uncle, it might be your mum, it might be your dad. But often it's good to have somebody out with your family too. To have as a friend, a best friend, or both. Having people that you can meet up with, that you're a friendship group, that are people that can support you for you, and you don't always necessarily have to tell them everything about your life. But knowing that you can be with them and you can just say, things are difficult, and they can say, I'm here for you, can make all the difference. Friendships are one of the most important relationships for us to nurture and invest in and make time for. And when we don't, we miss them when we're in times of hardship. We miss them when we're struggling. So be careful not to neglect your friendships. And if you have missed out on friends, if you have alienated friends, or maybe you've actually hurt a friend and you feel that it's too late to reach out, it's too late to make amends. It's never too late to reach out. We should always reach out. We have no control over how someone receives our way of trying to make amends. They might reject it, but sometimes we need to do something for us because we miss that person and we want them to know, and they might not respond positively initially, but they might, and they might later on after they've processed. But what I would say is, if you do reach out to a friend because you're missing them, make sure you're ready to engage. Make sure you're ready to invest back in the friendship, rather than just reaching out to them and then pulling back again. What friendships do you invest in? Who are your friends? Who are the important friends in your life? When was the last time you told those people, those friends, that you really value them and appreciate them? When was the last time? And has there ever been a time where you've had to walk away from a friendship because you've realised that it's been one-sided? Or maybe it's been unhealthy? Some friendships are one-sided. Some friendships are not all they seem and all they claim to be. Sometimes we can overly accommodate. Sometimes we can give too much of ourselves, and sometimes it's not reciprocated. Sometimes we can feel judged or misunderstood in friendships. And sometimes we need to take care of ourselves because we realise that our friend isn't equally being kind or thoughtful or caring enough. Certainly not in the way we deserve. And sometimes it's hard to see a friendship for how it really is. You see, with friendships, we should feel that we're valued, we're respected, that we feel warmth and we feel loved and cared about. And if somebody is maybe not making us feel that way, think about that friendship. Ask yourself, am I overly committing? Is this a friendship of convenience? Is it a friendship where I'm overly accommodating? Is it someone who will not be there for me in the way that I would need them to be? As much as I'm there for them. Sometimes people say you should give, not to receive. However, it's a human need and a human condition to want to feel respected, to want to feel valued and appreciated. Of course, sometimes we give to someone and maybe they're going through hardships and difficulties when we need their support, and maybe they're not the right person, maybe they're not capable or able to at that time. And sometimes we have to be able to dig deep and show compassion. It's not that they don't want to be, but often people will be there for us in the way that they can be. And sometimes receiving that shows grace and understanding. But what I'm talking about is understanding unhealthy relationships. Relationships where we feel that somebody can't celebrate our success or is in constant competition or diminishes us by what they say and how they act. And that's unhealthy. So knowing the relationships and friendships that are good for us and that are good to be in our inner circle is important. And this episode is about reflecting on your friendships and what kind of friend you are to your friends. Sometimes we have to think about whether we need to level up and appreciate our own friends and the friendships that we have, and whether we need to invest more and show that appreciation and gratitude. Friendships, not to be taken for granted. Thanks for listening. And as I say, I will be posting in my supporters channel an episode that I think you'll enjoy. Take good care. Until next time. Remember to like, share and download every episode that you enjoy. Every time you like, share and download, particularly on Spreaker and all the other channels, I then get recognised for, and I also then understand what episodes that you enjoy. It's always good for me to be able to see the episodes that my supporters can see and are actually enjoying and favouring. And of course, if there's a particular topic you want me to talk on, then please feel free to contact me. As usual, you can contact me on stepupcmg@gmail.com or on my Instagram or Facebook channel. Take good care until next time, and thanks for joining me. And I will be dropping some webinars shortly. Watch out for that information coming up on my supporters channel. Join up and sign up to the supporters channel so you don't miss out on my episodes when they drop, and you get to level up on mental health and all things mental health. You've been listening to Catherine Gallacher. Take good care until next time. Good mental health. Bye for now.